Hi everyone, I'm back. Uh, and today I'm going to talk about why do we write, what are the benefits of writing, and what are the ways we can structure our writing. Okay? Let's begin with why do we write? Well, each one has their own reason of writing, but predominantly we write because we want to express ourselves. Now, what happens is most of us we have done our lives in a way that our food is secure, our clothing is secure, our stay is secure, we have a place to stay, and our financial needs are more or less sorted. When these basic needs get taken care of, another set of needs for human beings arise, which are called psychological needs. One of which is to be recognized for who we are and what we are in a society. Writing forms a part of that. Writing helps us express, bring out our inner self, bring out who we are, what we are, and our mode of communication with the world, which then helps the world decide who we are and what we are. That's how writing becomes a form of expression. A lot of time, writing is recommended for people who are going through depression because it becomes their mode of outburst. It becomes their mode of putting out whatever they had on paper. It is also said that writing is a very interesting concept for all human beings. Life, or let's say consider a human being as a glass, as a tumbler. Life adds water to the tumbler. Our experiences, our day to day activities, our emotions, our relationships, everything keeps on adding to the glass. Okay? Now, if the glass fills, it starts overflowing, which is where we burst open. As opposed to if we have a regular method of putting that water out somewhere else, then the overflow never happens. It's a controlled flow. And this happens through modes of expression. Any art form, painting, dancing, singing, writing. Writing is one of the art forms which helps you express and bring that out. And that's how it's very helpful. It also helps you to in a way, meditate because you're concentrating, you're thinking, and you're putting all that in one place. So that helps you deal with that entire chaos in your mind and put it out there. That is also a very important factor of why people write and what are the benefits of it. Obviously, when you start writing, you have a lot of benefit of calming down. You don't have issues of outbursts. You're able to express properly. Okay, a lot of times our loneliness kills us. Okay, a good way of killing loneliness is to start writing. When you write, you have a friend. It's like a friend you talk to. So those writing actually help you to engage somebody. It could be your deepest, darkest desires, your secrets, your grudges, something that you've been with for a long time. All that can come out on paper and it really empties you and makes you feel lighter. That's one big benefit of writing. But does writing happen just like that? It can. It can happen. But there are ways and means of structuring it properly. Okay? And if you structure it properly, there are chances that the outcome is extremely good, which is then a very big positive factor. I will take in the methods of writing prose, stories, and then take it forward with you. I'll leave out for the time being poetry, essays, columns, everything else, and discuss only about stories. Okay, it could be short stories, it could be novel, but they all follow the same pattern. Okay? While you're talking about writing stories, there are four elements that we need to take care of. Okay? Plot. What's the storyline? What is it about? Second, characters. Who are the people in the story? Number three, setting. Where is the story based? Number four, narration. Who is telling the story? If you take care of these four elements, then the story is sorted and you are definitely going to get a good output. Let's begin with the first one. Plot. So what is a plot? In simple terms, A plot is a sequence of events that, when put together, form a coherent storyline. A simple sequence of events which, when you think through together, becomes a storyline together. So that is called a plot. But if once or before you are trying to develop a plot, you should have a story idea. What are you writing about? Okay. So let's take an example and start narrowing it down. Okay. Let's say we want to write a story about romance. Okay. It's the first and the most important element of what type of story you're writing. So it's a romance. So obviously the romance has to be something about a guy or a girl, or probably a guy or a guy, or a girl or anybody. Two people. Person A and person B loving each other, and they're trying to explore what can be there together. A life, a few moments, a few months, a few years. Okay, so that's the concept that you have in mind. But it's the plot? No, that's not the plot. That cannot be the plot. This is the theme of the story. Okay, from the theme you then derive the plot, and the plot is something that you have to come up with. Okay, with the idea of a story in mind. So, for example, let me say that I have a story in my mind which talks about two people coming from two different backgrounds and falling in love for each other. But their intention or their motives of the relationship is very different. One is genuinely in love, the other probably is not, is playing the person. Okay, so this is what I have in my mind, that I want to create a love story where there is one genuine lover and there's one person who's playing the lover, and together whatever happens in the storyline becomes my plot. So now I have two characters, one a lover and one a non-lover. They come together, so I have to think through how do they meet. Okay, so how do they meet and where do they meet? Let's see that they come for a vacation to Goa. Okay, and they are, they both come alone and they're looking for company, and they meet up, let's say, of all the places, maybe Miramar Beach. Okay, they're all touristy, they don't know the real locations of Goa, so they come to Miramar Beach and they're looking at each other, and suddenly it starts raining, and in that rain they both run for getting some cover, and that's when they first meet and see each other. Okay, sparks fly, there is some chemistry, and they have that fling that yes, maybe something can happen. Then starts the next element. So this becomes the first part of your plot where you've got them together. Now, obviously, you will put in events, various kinds of events. You can take them to a coffee shop nearby. You can take them. Maybe those two have figure out that they are in the same hotel, and they gang up together to see entire Goa together. They hire a 2-wheeler or a 4-wheeler, and they spend 5 days together. And those 5 days are absolutely indulgent in romance. At the end of 5 days, when they realize they have to go back to their own direction and their own places, they are feeling sad. One genuinely, and the other is still ploying that how do I ensure that I am in touch with this person. Okay? Then you make them meet again in a different setting. So let's say one is from Delhi, one is from Bombay. So the Delhi fellow goes back to Delhi, the Bombay fellow goes back to Bombay, and they keep in touch over phone, and they decide to meet again. And sooner or later, the person who is not in love figures out a method to travel. Let's say he was in Bombay and he figures out a method to travel to Delhi. There again, you are creating another event where you are meeting. The distance that you had between these two people, between Goa and the second meeting, makes them feel, or rather the lover feels, that they really are in love, and it's something that they can look forward to. Okay? When they come together in Delhi, they decide to take it forward to the next level. Okay? Now here is a surprise. These two characters are females, and they love each other. Okay? So now there are elements that are going to play. Societal pressure, their own confusion. Will they have a life? Will they not have a life? Do they want to live a life like this? Or do they want to go the regular way? And all that element you bring in. That's confusion, that's chaos. But you help them think through. You help the characters think through this and they come to a decision. At which point, when they're about to take the next step, which could be marriage, it could be anything, lover figures out the other person is playing her. And then starts the next level of drama, wherein they come together to figure out why was that person playing. And then we go that this particular person who's a non-lover had a background, and that was a way of taking revenge on the girl. Actually, not on the girl, but on the parents, on the family. And then you can figure out and probably build a backstory to it, wherein you can bring out and say that probably for some reason this lover's parents had wronged the parents of this particular girl, and she had a method or means, or had a genuine reason to find revenge or do revenge or figure out something around it. Okay. However, the twist in the tale could be that this girl also genuinely falls in love, and that's where the trigger happens. On one side, there's an element of revenge. On the other side, there's an element of love. And how do you get these two emotions to play and eventually bring out the climax? It's your story. So this is what I was trying to draw a plot for you. Okay, there is a method to this madness. Okay, there is something called an 8-point arc that basically helps you in developing a story. Okay, I don't need to explain the 8-point arc because it's a very detailed process, and if probably sometime later if we have a long chat or a long video, we can post that. It's probably a half an hour kind of session where we can talk about the 8-point arc, but you can Google it and find out and see if you are able to understand what it is. If not, then I can figure out some way to send you some reading material which you can read and find out. But the whole story is about how do you create a good plot. Your plot has to have all the elements that a story needs, yet it should reflect your emotions, your ideas, your values, your purpose. That's when it becomes your story. So that's about plot. In the next video, we'll talk about characters. Okay. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.